take on bigotry head on, social and sexual inequality, religion, the concept of God, the concept of, obviously, war and peace. It was a very, very pacifist show in a lot of ways, and yet very, very often they wound up destroying their enemies because they had to. But
going to war at times.
Going to war at times. But as Leonard Nimoy has said over the years, and particularly over the last year in the process of making this film, he does try, and I take it that this also applies to Gene Roddenberry, who did not produce this film, but he was the executive consultant. And once again, he is the creator of Star Trek, if you're not familiar with him. Harv Bennett, all of the other creative people involved in the making of the film, they do try to take into consideration the feelings of the Trekkers. Leonard Nimoy has said, without sounding too cruel, that he can't allow other people's feelings to direct the way the film is going to go.
Of course.
He has to be the final word. He really does, the final arbiter. But they really do respect the Trekkers out there, and you can tell that in this film. It is very, very evident. They do play fairly fast and loose with certain things like the prime directive, as I mentioned, without giving too much of it away. And a lot of it is very, very funny. A lot of it is one-liners, as Alexander said. In this film, they managed to impart a little bit of 23rd century scientific knowledge to a 20th century scientist, someone who works in plastics and polymers.
And Scotty comes up with the answer.
And Doc says to him, "Wait a second, aren't we, breaking the rules of the prime directive?" And Scotty says, which, by the way, satisfied me, and I guess is going to satisfy most people out there, but not all Trekkers. Scotty says, "How do we know this guy didn't invent it in the first place?" Which is kind of fun. I do have to tell you that it was about the right time for me for a lighthearted film. But as Alexander has said, this picture will disappoint some people, and for them, Star Trek V is going to get back into gloom and doom.
We just hope there's not going to be too much gloom and doom.
Yes.
In terms of Shatner.
Yeah, one thing I can tell you is that with William Shatner's ego, and I don't mean this to sound cruel because I spoke to the guy and I have a lot of respect for him, and a lot more affection than I had before I interviewed him. One of the characters who will not be getting killed off in Star Trek V will be Captain Kirk.
No!
I'm sure that Bill will get most of the good lines and certainly the last line.
A lot of friends in discussing Shatner directing the film have said they hope it is not a Captain Kirk movie. Star Trek V, Captain Kirk.
When I said originally,
Shatner.
Yeah, exactly. What I said originally before was that he would probably wind up killing off all the crew in the first 5 minutes.
That's
and
right.
The whole thing would be a monologue. What can I tell you? Anyway, Jay, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Good to talk to you, sir. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, Alexander, I thank you for joining us here.
Thank you, Steve.
And Joe, thank you.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
You keep using the terms Trekker and Trekkie. Now, I'd like to know, what is your distinction between a Trekker and a Trekkie?
For the sake of everyone, I
Okay,
guess.
yes, very, very quickly. A Trekker, and this is not my definition, this is the official definition, and people I'm quote